No, I talked to him earlier.
Okay.
He has some sort of school thing going on.
And fat chance Frank's going to show up, but man, we'll wait and see. Give him a few minutes.
There were a bunch of people here last time I came.
Yeah.
It's been down
Last time you came, it wasn't
cold.
cold.
It comes, it goes. The beginning of school, people get in the groove real good. They'll get bored, and then they'll start showing up. And then the summer, it usually thins out. And it comes, it goes. Anyhow, we have fun. People come in, we chat, shoot the breeze, have some fun.
Absolutely. So I thought I'd bring some stuff today, since
Oh,
I've
good.
looked at a lot of your guys' toys.
All right.
Now, this is a commercial product, right, by another company, Inovonics. They make a whole line of sensors, wireless sensors. All right, so this guy is just a receiver. There's scads of these, they're transmitters. So this,
Okay. Okay, this is where I always get in trouble. Okay. We have trouble setting context.
Okay, well,
First, we have to say, okay, we're in the universe, and they call me. They call me on the phone and said, "This is Central Medical or something like that." I said, Central Medical, is this a particular doctor? And I guessed the right place, but I sent them a note right after that. You call me and say Central Medical, does you don't need to tell people that. They're gonna hang up on it. I'll hang up on them. They do it again to me, because Central Medical means nothing. Medical center. That's what you tell me. This is medical center. I want to talk to you. Is this you? Yeah, this is me. And I don't know who Central Medical Center is.
yeah.
And okay, it was Monroe Medical Center. I said, when you call me, you tell me you're from Monroe Medical Center. I have a chance of knowing who the hell you are. So anyhow, we need to set the context. We're talking about devices, and you have a device here. It looks like a
What's
wireless device. So what kind of wireless device
Well,
is it?
these guys sell general purpose sensors and receivers. We apply them in a security application. Courthouses, hospitals, schools, any place that has on-site security.
So okay, so it's security.
These are
type
panic
oriented?
buttons.
Oh, okay.
You hit this, there's a device this device can hop on a radio and make a transmission. You remember I brought those radios in there? Yeah, okay.
Okay, you push that button,
Yeah.
and that talks to that. What does that plug into?
Well, normally it plugs in here. All right.
It plugs into and what would that?
This is this forwards it over the network. Okay, so this is the piece we've been working on mostly. We have a single board computer that's the master of this whole thing. This guy sits at the different facilities around the state or the different big lots, receiving bays, and he transmits it to the central place. Right, it's just
Okay.
over the internet.
Okay,
Okay,
so this is Ethernet.
that's Ethernet. Yeah.
Okay, and so you put that. You have a wireless receiver, which sends it to there, and this is just I/O here.
Yeah, this is a serial port in power.
Oh,
This is
serial.
RS-232 in power.
Okay, impeller,
Power.
power.
Gotta have power.
That's right. 12 volts right there.
Oh, okay, so it provides 12 volts to the device.
Yeah, so this guy has a few other little niceties. This is a PoE converter. So
Okay.
if you can source PoE, you can give it a wall wart if you want power. When you plug into the USB, you can't run the whole system because USB won't offer enough power, but it'll run enough to power the processor and configure it. So the techs can go plug in and set it up.
Okay, so it's mainly a COM port, and so you can talk to it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
and set it up and all that stuff.
Now, if this weren't in the way, and that block I stuck in there isn't too tall, this is an expansion module for it that adds 8 channels of relays.
For outputs?
For outputs, you can drive beacons or sirens or unlock doors interface to access control panels, doors stuff. Then we got a couple of North flash here. these store 1,000 audio files. So this sucker plugs down into here. You've got your radio hanging off here. The master says play a sound, an announcement or a warning. He keys up the radio and, problem at the front desk. Please go to the library, code blue, kind of stuff.
A PA system type.
You can go to PAs, you can go to radios, you can go to speakers.
Now, somebody sells that. That's not your project, but your project's over there, right?
This is my customer.
Oh,
They sell this.
okay.
We buy this.
Okay.
This is kind of fun. This is being put together to test this. Notice, so he sits in here, and instead of putting the receiver where it normally goes, we stick this guy in here and then put him into here. Now this guy can inject traffic, triggering alarm events. He can disconnect him showing a hardware failure, like a device goes away. So we have alarming and central monitoring. So this piece is all about automated testing. When I get this wire wired up to here, he'll be able to come over here and push the button. This is the tamper. If somebody opens up the box,
Oh yeah.
and it fires off the tamper alarm. This is the programming header for this guy. He'll get a connection to here, and he'll be able to hold him and reset, take the whole device offline. So this is all about automated testing.
Okay, this has a Cat5 connector on that thing and on the other thing. Are those two get connected together, or is that?
No, they do not.
Oh.
This is this little module here is a $10 Linux box. Friendly Arm makes it. You put your code in there.
Orange Pi,
Nano Pioneer.
Nano Pi. Gotta remember which makers make what.
So this guy is he's way overkill for this. Well, I say that, but it's not really true. Everybody's got web tools for automated testing these days, right? So he has a web server on him that allows a Jenkins to tell him to transmit packets and to take things offline. So there's a web server here. This guy's stupid. He just does UDP. But you know what? You got wireless packets, right? You don't get all the wireless packets. It's one-way communication. You don't get X. There's no guaranteed delivery. So UDP really closely matches the performance characteristics of the devices where. There we go. That's. What have we been working on this? I've been working on this for a year and a half. These two. And that. But that's not much work.
Cool.
So you're doing volumes in this? You're selling.
I sell my
these
time.
You sell your time. Okay. Are you setting up configurations for people to sell?
I have been hired by a company to develop this for them. They have, this has been deployed in every courthouse in California and New York.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, and Big Lots is one that we're hoping to get. They're very interested. There's some other sensors. There's a gunshot sensor
Oh,
that they're interested in.
cool. All right. I ran into somebody years ago that was over in.
You commented on you were maintaining it. You had 1 million lines of code.
I've written probably 1 million, at least several million.
There's another guy on top of this that orchestrates it all, but there's 250,000 lines of code
Okay.
that pulls all that together. It's been 5 years.
Cool. That's a lot of code.
It's a lot of code.
Yeah, it is.
And it depends on what level you're writing at. You're writing in, you got libraries, okay, then your lines of code go way down. If you're writing in assembler, lines go. If everything's an assembler and you're not using libraries, but you're using libraries and stuff, all that stuff.
There are, but there's 5 operating systems involved. This
Well,
is
that's just proving you hate yourself.
there's
so.
TI real-time operating system there. There's Linux on this, and on the main controller, there's a whole other series of modules that are PICs with no operating system. There's a Windows client that pretends to be one of these buttons, and then a little bit of mobile app stuff.
So you do hate yourself.
I do,
You
absolutely.
concur,
I
Leroy,
lack
that he
focus.
hates himself truly. Okay.
Can I see the red board?
You can see them all, man.
The magic red board?
I've got a security system that has a cell phone built in,
Okay.
and it is interesting. Well, I paid $100 for it, and it's pretty dang good. Except the I/O's done weird, and here's home security system is probably where you would like this to be like a home security system when you're finished. And here is what it lacks, where it's weak. It's very nice. It uses a cell phone signal to call. It's like 1G,
Okay.
and part of that's going away, or whatever. It still works. And that's okay. Has some issues actually, but that's okay. It has battery backup built in, and no replaceable batteries, lithium-ion batteries. That's good. It doesn't detect if a device goes away, and that, my son, is a big deal. It doesn't detect when the battery goes bad.
Yeah, we got low battery and offline. Missing.
Well, I'm talking about the sensors.
Yeah, so am I.
That's way down here. That's in that guy. Well, that's
So I have
that
an
guy.
expectation that this guy's going to check in every 3 minutes.
Okay.
So if I get 3 consecutive misses, that's a missing.
Okay, so you're
sensor.
building that in. That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
And he tells me there's probably not a battery in here because I had him hooked up to some clips to simulate a low battery. But yeah,
And the Windows sensors, if battery goes out on them, no, it doesn't tell.
doesn't tell you.
And my old system did that. My old manual system, without the cell phone on it, did that. If you lost a device, you were going to have yourself an alarm
Those white
here.
things
And
are
if you tried to turn it on and one of the devices wasn't there, you're going to have yourself a problem right now.
If you've got a screwdriver, you can get it off. But I needed it just to give me a mounting place for this.
So, okay, gunshot sensors, that sounds good.
Yeah, the gunshots are interesting. They do they look for pressure and light.
And light.
And light.
Mm.
Well, you sell a lot more if you have to have line of sight.
What do you mean, or light instead of and light?
No, it's got a pressure wave and a light flash.
What if you
on
got a
it.
suppressor on it? You're not going to see the light. You may not see the light. Yeah. Now those sensors, that's going to be a biggie. The problem with sensor and home detection system is animals. Okay.
I had to glue solder those together, man. They're just a hair short.
Yeah.
I ordered more last night, but
You designed that board? Or just
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy in Trenton that was doing
Actually, my wife does the layouts.
computer security. He was doing
Cool.
computer
She
security.
got it. She does all to him. Yeah.
And he was doing it for some jewelry store or something. He had a chain that he was writing for. I think they didn't have enough business to stay. But he didn't have wireless, I don't think.
I wouldn't do any of the wireless. I mean, I use Wi-Fi and
Yeah.
I use their wireless, but I don't
Yeah,
do any.
yeah. It's getting to where a lot of that should be canned.
Those are neat. It's a lot of power. That's $10. That's a lot of power
Yeah.
for $10.
Yeah.
But that is cool to have a self-check system so you can exercise the entire system.
Yeah, so we do continuous integration. Every night it builds all the applications in the new file system, and now I got to deploy it and run the test suite. Simulate all the types of sensors, make sure all the events are handling. There's hierarchical response. You can set every battery to do the same thing, or you can individually set batteries to do things, right? So there's some hierarchy logic in there.
That's cool.
Hey,
A little Linux,
yeah.
little tiny $10 Linux machine.
Yeah.
The $5 Raspberry Pi Zero though. I don't know, $5.
So you used it, huh? Actually, I have a few of those.
Save money, $5.
Actually, they helped me because they had a Windows application for burning the SD cards, and so and the stuff I'd used before didn't come with that. I had to burn SD cards under Linux, but when I had the Windows app, I was able to let people in the field create new cards with their laptops, which was a big plus.
Etcher works.
Yeah.
Etcher works really well.
There's also a DB.exe.
Yeah,
It's-
it'll work. That's cool.
Okay,
Do you
so
want to know what it is?
yes, please.
Okay. So,
See, you just had to repeat yourself because
Sorry.
you didn't wait.
I know, I got impatient. All right, so this is basically a duress system, right? We sell it to people who have on-site security. This is a commercial product made by Onivonics. They make a whole line of wireless sensors, right? So this guy's a transmitter. I can get door contact, window, glass break, smoke, carbon dioxide. This guy picks it up, spits it out serially. Normally, you plug this guy into here, and he forwards the sensor packets onto the main controller.
Okay.
This guy, he's
Main
running.
controller.
This isn't the main controller. This is just a
It's a
remote.
PC, probably.
Oh,
It's
excuse me.
I can show you a picture of it. It's a single board Linux computer about like yay.
And that's per site. You have a main controller per site, one main controller, or is it remote?
It's per customer, and you
Okay.
have these per site.
Okay, per customer. So it's going to be you're going to have one main controller per customer,
One controller.
and so you could have 50 different units out here serviced by one server.
Yes.
Okay.
The main controller can handle a couple thousand sensors,
Okay.
which is a lot of duress. All right, so this guy's, he sits there. He's basically getting this on the internet, or on the network. PoE, or plug it in. Either way. This is an
Wait. Where's the intelligence? Who makes the decision that there's a problem and sets the alarm?
So this guy watches the transmissions coming out of here, and if a condition bit has changed, he views it as a priority to deliver it to the head unit, to the main unit.
Okay.
The head unit decides if he cares,
Okay.
right? But when he sees a status bit change, he forwards the traffic. So this guy does a lot of deduping. This guy transmits every 3 minutes, but he transmits a burst every 3 minutes because it's one way, and they want some redundancy in it. When you actually hit the button, he'll transmit about 20 times. So this guy filters most of that out and sends it.
Only sends the transitions.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Um,
State transitions.
Now, this piece is about automated testing. This doesn't normally here. You stick this here, and instead of plugging the receiver directly into the board, you plug the receiver into here. And now we got this Linux module feeding in maybe the original sensor traffic, or maybe doctored traffic, right? I don't even need a real sensor to transmit the sensor packet and trigger an alarm. Then when I wire this up to here, I'll be able to assert the reset on this line and take it offline, or press this tamper button, which is basically, well, it's normally depressed when the lid is on and it comes up and I open it and tamper stuff. So there's that.
So it's mainly tamper resistance. You're not going to do stuff like go to test mode and test all I/O, and this guy would take over and send a entire sequence of alarms and test it at the other end.
So at the other end, there's the main controller generates a report of recent alarms. So we're actually scraping the text out of PDFs and comparing the alarms in the report to what we expected to be generated. So now some of this is future. This is what we're implementing. It's the point of this. So this guy has a press alarm, he has a reset alarm, he has a low battery, he has a tamper. So I'll go through the whole set of alarms and make sure they all end up in the report.
Okay. So it could be for setup to confirm the configuration and setup is done, or it could be for periodic testing, or
Yeah, it'll do this while I'm sleeping. That's the objective. So
Any outputs for an enunciator?
So yeah, if this isn't normally here, this is a expansion module, plugs in here, and what it adds is 8 channels relay, maybe when I drive a beacon or something, and it also has some NOR flash here that'll hold 1,000 audio recordings, and this goes to a walkie-talkie or speaker or a PA system, so it gets the attention of the on-site security people. Then there's a disturbance at the front desk. Judge such and such needs help.
so if you're going to attack this place, my first deal would be to kill the Ethernet
There you go.
and then
Disconnect
the
the network.
building.
Now we offer, you can get a cell modem to sit out here and it'll handle that.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
use whatever's available, right? It's cheaper to use wired, but if the wired goes away, it'll jump to the cell. I don't know that anybody's paying for that except for the salesmen that need it for the mobility to go demo stuff. But
Well, it's I bought my $100 one
Huh?
has a cell phone in it. Okay, so I paid $100. So it has value as a secondary. I'm surprised the guys out in New York. Of course, your market is a cheap market.
courts.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Hospitals
government.
have money, but they have these HIPAA things, and this is problematic.
Oh yeah.
There's no personally identifiable information on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they get all freaky when you want to plug into their network. But they have guest networks usually, so put us on the guest network.
So, does it have any local logic at all? Or does it rely on the...
It times relays. It plays it spaces and plays back audio. 5 repeats
So-
of beat between it.
So if somebody pushes the button, this by itself can say that
No,
there's a... Okay.
this guy does. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do anything like that. He does a little bit of filtering. What the logic on here has to do, there's a Dropbox type functionality where he can synchronize the audio recordings here with what the master is telling him he's supposed to have.
Oh,
So
okay.
when this guy checks in, he gives the MD5 of the audio catalog, and if it doesn't match, the master tells him to download. So he goes HTTP download, gets a list of audio files, and does a comparison and pulls down the ones he needs.
That's cool.
Yeah. There will be remote firmware updates soon, because reprogramming a dozen of these in my office is getting very tedious.
So is this proprietary? Should we be discussing this on a camera for the public?
I haven't said anything that I
Okay.
wouldn't say.
Other than that
public.
pile of HIPAA information.
Just want to make sure we don't.
It's
get
too
in
late right now. He already done said it. It's already out there.
It's all good.
trouble. So okay, that's cool.
Should have said that earlier. Would have turned it off.
We got to think, and it's hard hard for us sometimes.
Cool.
So we probably made, we didn't make this one in-house, we could, but we didn't. We do prototyping, right? The first 5 usually get built at my house. And that's kind of fun.
Leroy does wire wrap.
I've done wire wrap, but it's been a while.
Look how Leroy went from plugging DuPont cables into wire wrap because Leroy likes it better. I get better connections.
So this is the head unit at my house. Although a telephone is a horrible interface to look at it on. If you want to give me a web browser, I'll show you in there. Oh man,
I can do whatever we want. I can do stuff.
cool, sure.
If I can find my mouse. My Ms. House. Where the heck did the Ms. House go?
You driving? Roy.rce.systems. .rce.systems. Admin. So this is the main unit.
Do you have that on the internet with default password?
I do, but I have an IoT network. It's really isolated from anything else. Alright, so these are the main abstractions in the system. If you looked under devices, you'd find this. This is a gateway. And when you stick this on top of it, it becomes an envoy.
There's stuff online and offline.
Yeah. The receiver, the devices receiver listing is kind of cool. I don't know how many of them I have turned on. So that's packet traffic. Aww. I think I plugged those on my desk. That is counts of the number of packets this guy's received coming from different places. Audiences or who notifications or who gets stuff. Notifications are the audio, the text, what they get. Sensors are these.
Oh.
Yep, Advonics.
No data.
Now there's I'd have to deliberately set it up. Try the lefty.rc. Switch Roy to lefty. I'll bet we have at least some notifications. I wonder why it's not showing the logo. That's odd.
Because our internet's horrible.
Notification list. Come on, give me some.
Oh, hey,
Right.
hey, we got to be careful there.
So you could tie these to sensor activations. Like this button press could be tied to the lock or the bomb or the medical. Obviously the button full and low and full are tied to this. If you pick one of them and hit the play button, you can preview what it sounds like.
Battery low.
Oh, that's me. Dependencies is cool. It shows you all the sensors that are.
Activation. Magnet activation.
All right, so if you hit sensors,
Oh.
yeah, it's unused. We'll add something to it. Sensors, Anavonics. Do we have any installed? Oh, we do. Battery level, coverage. Well, that's probably not a real sensor, but all right, you can go into it. What kind of sensor do we have here? A single input transmitter. So it has a reset button like this one. If you hit the activations, yeah, it also has a contact activation. So that's like it's looking for an input, and then you can pick. Do you want to do something when when the contact is activated or deactivated? All right. Now you can react to when that contact occurs. That's the on-enter event. You can set a time on dwell, so you can decide it's okay to open the door, but if the door's been open for 5 minutes, that's a problem. So you can set up a dwell.
Right.
Remind is tell me once a day until I replace these batteries.
And then we could test it all to make sure it
So
all does whatever.
If you that'll pick a row, and then hit that. That's the serial string it's going to send out
Holy cow.
to another device. I can't decode that without the document.
Yeah. Somewhere you know what that actually means, huh?
Yeah, it identifies all this. So, yeah,
Start of text, end of text. All right. Bunch of stuff.
that's gonna be the sensor identifier, the sensor type.
All kinds of goody information.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's what this stuff delivers their data to.
What's the range of the transmitter?
These guys,
Hundreds of feet or thousands?
hundreds, but you can put up to 8 repeaters overlapping, so you can have huge coverage areas. Because as long as only 8 C8, you can keep spreading out.
So the cost of
Okay.
one of these.
And that's the other thing is we like to push these instead of repeaters. Because there's no limit to if your network. Sorry, cost?
Cost of one of these? And that?
These are modest. I think 40, couple hundred. You're not buying our system if you're not buying our system if you're not spending $8,000.
Oh, okay.
Good significant jobs are 75,000.
Cool. You want to see what I did?
Yeah.
I did it. I gotta find my Ms. House again. And my thingamabout. And see if it plays. So this is.
You got to talk to Leroy about printing you up a custom lockdown thing on there for that.
Got a 3D printer?
Yeah.
This is
That's cool.
This is version 2 of the beta test of the second. Well, it's the second prototype of the robot that
You've
Mark.
added the gun mount.
Yeah. Well, wait until you actually see it with the camera on it. It's actually kind of scary. So I'm still just driving it with the joystick from the first. And I have my helper with me. She's helping.
Trying to get her to sit on that?
Yeah, well, wait. It does actually happen.
Oh.
So I'm driving it around. It's not really meant for outdoors. It's meant for inside, but inside's small. Outdoors is big, so it's easier to drive it around outside. That goes on for a little bit, and she's my big helper. And where's my Ms. House? I'll start a new one. And we know that it will carry at least 35 pounds.
Need to limit those sharp turns.
I don't know, they could be fun.
I know, but you drop that kid off there, you're gonna be dead. Mama gets hold of you, you ain't gonna have much left.
Yeah. I was still getting used to the joystick. This one drives a little bit different. It's the same code, but it drives a little different than the other one. kind of weird. She was having a ball. So we know it will handle at least 35 pounds.
Looks like it does a good job. 35
Absolutely.
pounds.
It's not
Do you have a
struggling.
lawnmower battery? sort of thing in
It's a
that?
little 24 volt, two 12 volt.
Lead acid or
I'm not
travel
real.
wheelchair?
I think those are lead acid. What?
Wheelchair batteries?
Yeah. They're
Nice picture of your thumb.
it's not my thumb.
Your finger.
That's Patty's thumb. Patty's
Patty's your videographer.
recording this.
Oh, it's a low point of view. I see it now.
oh.
Ah!
Yeah,
I
that's
almost
scary.
got rid of her.
We tried. It didn't really work.
Surprised she didn't kick some electronics. She jumps right off.
Yeah, she's fearless. She doesn't care. And so ends the video. She was actually running from dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were chasing us. And this is what it's supposed to do is there's a marker there on the fan, and there's a marker back closer to where I'm at. And it's supposed to go to the marker, and then it's supposed to find the other marker, and it just reset itself for no apparent reason, and I had to go over and help it out.
Was
So
this
the
back
book-
in 1985?
Yeah, it looks like a flashback.
Yeah.
It's a bad flashback. Looked like somebody's taking dope with it too. I was just saying.
What? My 1985 computers? What are
And
you
the
talking
strobe
about?
lights and the 85 computers. Yeah.
If it wasn't for the monitor and the robot sitting there, I'd be like, oh, okay.
So it, for whatever reason, it had a hard time with seeing the first marker. But you want to talk about a gun turret? See that thing that's mounted up underneath it? Really looks like a laser sight. So now it has a little bit of a hard time. See, I have shaky cam. Patty actually did a pretty decent job, even though she got her finger in it. And eventually it finally decides that it can actually see the marker, and it actually comes. It helped when I flipped the marker around.
Yay.
That's it. That's what I worked on. Said that was it. Thank you.
Very cool.
So you can start working at Amazon.com and repairing all their robots?
I was thinking Tesla. They've been trying to drive lately.
I have there's a video of the new Tesla come here feature.
Driving the wrong way on the road.
No,
That was in the news
he's
today.
actually out in a parking lot. He's testing it, and it looks a little scary. Play, do something.
consumer, and Tesla has recently put out one of their biggest software updates to all of their cars. They put out version 10, which includes some really awesome features like finally adding Spotify and being able to control your music, the ability to play more games like even Cuphead, even Netflix and Hulu when the car is parked. But one of the biggest features is Smart Summon. Basically what Smart Summon is if you aren't close to your car and you want it to come to you, you can just use the app and it'll find its way right over to you. It uses the sensors and the cameras around the car to know what it's around and kind of avoid any traffic on it. But I would think that the sensor would pick up the fact that this car is here and kind of adjust itself. But
Skipped ahead too far.
I'm gonna keep going. Now we've got it in a parking lot, and to be one of the
He
scenarios
tried it
that
out on the
Tesla
road
has
first,
shown
and
that
it
new
only
cars
would work in the
be
parking
something
lot.
from,
They
so
told him that
let's give
it
that a try.
won't work
I'm
on
gonna leave this
public
guy
roads.
behind. Okay, guys, so now we're gonna do it. We are going to go and hit come to me. So let's see how this works. I see those lights coming
Yeah,
on.
kidding.
Yeah, there's nobody
all
driving
it's
this
pulling
thing.
out. It's pulling
It's a
out.
big ass robot.
Okay. All right.
Big ass scary killer
No
robot.
driver in that thing. Where you going? Okay. You gonna correct yourself?
And it's gonna hit a truck.
Right at it.
No, that is not cool. So let's
No?
take a look here. So the fact that it really crossed all of these lines here, and it looked like it was going straight. I didn't see the wheels
I'd be putting
turn.
cardboard boxes out there, but don't hit the
A little
cardboard
cause for
boxes.
concern.
Oh,
I'm
he gets
wondering
right. He,
if it-
he
if there were
lets his
actual
cousin walk
cars
in front
here,
of
would
it and
detect
whatever.
that? But
He likes his cousin, does he?
it would pick up the fact that this car is here and kind of
The,
adjust itself. But
You've got to hold the button
I'm gonna
on
keep
the
going.
phone to,
I'm gonna keep going. I'm
so
gonna
the
see
driver
if it adjusts itself
or
next
the-
to that Jeep.
he can
Carl,
he can
you
get
stay
it to
over there
stop.
and tell me if it gets too close to the car, and you just scream if it does. So we are going to continue this. I know.
I think better
It's
adjust.
science.
Oh my gosh. Of course, I've never seen this before.
Ooh, wait, that's close. All right. You gotta have faith. Maybe.
Or insurance.
Lots of
It's straightened
insurance
up
and
though.
Some officer would give
You're
you
driving a
a
Tesla. I guess you've got insurance.
some officer would give you a reckless driver
Let's give that another shot. Though.
ticket for that.
Coming out.
it seems like it takes that turn pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. Looks cleaner this time.
And it comes really close to parked cars.
Parking spots.
Really close to
Nah,
it.
I feel
Oh,
like
it
it's
just
gonna
ran over
adjust.
parked cars.
Okay. Yeah,
No, there's no
adjusting.
car there though.
It definitely ignores these parking spots though.
There's nothing there.
The
Yeah.
lines. It would be great if it detected that.
How does it
But
care?
you see, it just detected this car. And boom. Is it gonna park? It's about to park. We don't need all that now. So it looks like it's able to detect what it needs to and not hit any cars. But as the person controlling this thing, it's terrifying that it's ignoring these lines. Because as we drive, we pay attention to these lines and we don't cross them. So it is a little scary to see that, but at least it does the job. It's nerve-wracking though. Okay guys, so we're doing the next test now. We're gonna have this thing back out of the spot.
No way.
It's got a car next to it, so there's a bit more maneuvering here since it's gonna have to back out, come forward. Cars behind it, cars next to it. It should be a pretty big test. We got Carl on standby to make sure we don't hit anything. All right.
Yeah, Carl. Don't let him hit anything.
You know what? You just scared me. And you made me let go. Okay, take two. All right. So it's coming out.
So the person is like the dead man switch.
Now it's
Yeah.
adjusting itself. Detect the car, please. Detect the Volkswagen. Okay. All right. Legitimate, and it's coming over to my side. Oh my gosh. It's doing this. Okay. All right. It's
Over
Doing the
the-
drunk driving.
Over correcting kind
Hey.
of.
Yeah, right? But it did well. I
It
like
did
that.
okay.
That was actually really good. For a car that did it by itself. I think it did great. Alright guys, so now we're going for the most dangerous test of them all. We are going to see what happens if someone walks in front of the car when it is coming out. Got my cousin Carl over there, he's our person at risk. So what's up, Carl? Yeah. Don't worry, we got insurance, it's all good. But what we're gonna do is have him
Poor
walk
Carl.
out as the Tesla's pulling out. Thankfully, the Teslas come out pretty slowly. They go at like a mile per hour. So he should have enough time to like back up or move in case it doesn't stop. But I'll also be able to take my finger off of the button, stop the car in case it gets too close.
As long as your wireless
Ready to try
works
this, cuzzo?
just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shook your head no. Here we go. Alright, Carl. So that's a little bit of what I was worried about. It didn't stop at all, didn't detect it. He walked in front of it, didn't stop, but it was already turning. So I would say you'd have to have gotten in front of it a little bit earlier, but still, that doesn't matter. If it's coming out and it detects someone, and someone gets in front of it that much, it should have stopped. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. The first one, the first one was bad because he got in front of it and it didn't stop. So we're gonna try this again, see if he gives it more space. What happens? Ready? Here we go. Faster, Carl, faster.
It stopped.
Detected him with a little bit more space. Keep going, Carl.
And when he got up out of the
It
way,
waited.
That's following
Alright, that one was better.
Carry.
That one was better for sure.
Scary carry car.
Now, let's give this a shot with Carl running in front of it. Alright, ready? That took way too long. That took way. Now we don't have another car to try and test that out with, so we're not gonna do that. Carl was our test dummy to see if
Shopping
obstacles
carts.
would be something that would cause it to
A
stop.
shopping
but
cart with an empty bottom.
I don't know, man.
Empty
Some
shopping
funky
cart.
results. Now, obviously, guys, this isn't anything scientific. I'm sure Tesla has done their fair share of testing.
Or not. Just push it out there. That was pretty much.
I think that's the whole point of them. You have to hold your finger on it.
Like
You hit that person. Yeah.
you hit it.
You hit that person.
Kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. I'm just here.
Well, you got drone delivery going on these days too. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I think University of Wisconsin or something is giving a bunch of little robot delivery things. They want to use them to deliver food to the dorms. Cost about $2. Having a cheeseburger delivered. I thought that was neat.
I saw a video. It was on the news today on the television. I think it was Walgreens or Walmart, Wall something. They had this huge drone. It has 12 propellers going upward, 2 large propellers going forward, so it looks like an H shape.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, large. 6 on this side, 6 on this side, big beam, 2 going forward. And it was carrying 40 pounds of cargo load. It got to a certain point, drops the string down to the ground, clip, lets go of it, sucks it back up, and so it never dropped below 30, 40 feet.
Oh, okay.
Was it
Makes
this one?
sense.
No, it's an H-frame looking one. And there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
And it was on the television today while I was sitting in a meeting. It wasn't a hexagon shape, it was a big H shape. What's the top left one?
I don't know.
Walgreens would be an offering
That
drone
looks like a
tours.
weird one.
That looked like.
That's it.
Right.
I
That's
thought
it.
that was.
I was
I
like,
thought that
what
was
the
one that
hell?
Google helped develop.
And they were asking me, what's the feasibility of this? I was like, if your house is 20 miles away, and you're kind of a urban or a farm type place, you don't want to spend the money to send a delivery guy out there. You could feasibly have one operator operating, 9 or 10 of these drones. We just tell them, hey, go to this GPS location and hover until acknowledge that you're there. Once you're there, the drone operator can say, hey, yeah, we're gonna lower you, we're gonna drop off cargo, and then come back. But this seems kind of cool.
Just trying to load the video.
I see that. Is your internet slow? Mine's not anymore. That's a whole new story.
I saw a proposal to deliver pizzas to the car that the delivery guy was driving, and then let him do the exchange and collect the money. But just keep him out there driving from house to house.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Save miles on the car. You
I thought that was Google's design.
Well, there was a big G that just came across the screen there.
We're back to helium
Yeah,
powered. That would save a lot of energy. Yeah.
that's the same. That's the same one. What are you telling me? Oh, you don't like the fact that I've got ad blocker. I don't care. I don't care what you like. So Walgreens is using Google's design for their thingamabob.
When you've got 14 motors on there, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
What's the
And one for the
theory
winch.
behind that?
And one for the winch. Yeah.
Is it efficiency? You get more efficiency with smaller motors and a large quantity of motors?
No, I would think that if 3 or 4 of them fail, you're
Yeah,
still good to
Oh,
go.
redundancy. Okay.
Yeah. I would not want to lose that critter in the sky or in a field. 3 or 4 of those things go. Yeah. Food delivery. That's crazy.
Deliver me a pork chop.
Yeah. Release and.
Curious how they do the release.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was so small. I thought the package was a little bit bigger.
I think Google has made, I think they made like several different sizes of it.
Yeah, Prime Air. I would like that at 3 o'clock
See,
right now.
that's,
You like my new look?
stop it.
You like
See, it says Australia. That's where I would have thought that, like some of those delivery drones.
Drone
would-
delivery service is first to get the FAA approval.
Did anybody see the drone races championship this year in Liechtenstein? 2019 drone races. Those puppies are doing 60 miles an hour with little drones like this.
I've got one.
Oh God.
I can't fly it. That's how I can't respond fast enough.
Yeah, these
But-
guys. I don't know how they do
What,
it.
12-year-olds flying these things?
It was McDonald's. Yeah, it was McDonald's. They flew through the arches.
Not everybody makes it.
Wow. And these are flight provision, FPV.
First person view.
Yeah.
Yeah, as could be.
One of the maker fairs, they're letting people fly in them inside.
I've got it's an Ishin 250. It's similar to these. You have to be going a certain speed in order just to maintain stability.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
How far will it fly?
I don't know, I can go far. I keep crashing it.
Need to get up a couple of 100 feet. Right?
Years ago, I put my youngest son to the Hamilton Hawks field. And there was a fellow that had an FPV airplane there. Come here. I think Duncan at the time was probably 9 or 10. Here, stick these on. Duncan gets car sick. He's up doing spins and rolls and stuff. He puked all over the place.
That sounds great.
The
Borrow your PC. You keep talking. I want to show off my my summer project that me and Dave worked on. Okay, Dave did. I just watched.
Dave's not here, man.
Huh?
Dave's not here, man.
watch the. It's up there.
Oh, it's up there only. Okay.
Well, no, that particular one is up there only. I have 2 screens. I'm special like that. That's Craigslist.
I don't have any other pictures, man. How do we just look up a warehouse that's for rent? Office, warehouse,
Is it in? Did you list it in?
and
Cincinnati?
housing. How do we go down?
You didn't
There we go.
You didn't take pictures
Okay.
of that?
So, when you look here, you guys like my antenna tower here? This is a pole. It's actually mounted right there. So it's got a lovely 3 mounts holding this pole. It's a telescoping pole, and it gets it up a pretty good height. So this is actually the antenna elements that are inside of an aluminum extruder with a plastic front, and in the back there's actually a clip-on space for the antenna, and then 2 wires for the module. And this is a ubiquity system. So there's a wireless channel. You can do configurations with your phone. Once it is set to configure, communicate on the network, then you can get onto the local network or Wi-Fi, and you can type in the IP address. Goes to its own little web page configuration. It's pretty neat. So this is a point-to-multipoint base station, which means that from here it's receiving high-speed internet from the building. My problem was that my other building, so my other building was it.
That looked like the fish bait building.
It is. It was.
It was.
Great. The fish bait is gone.
And it used to be Rabbit Laser before
Yes.
it was the
Oh.
fish bait building.
Okay. Warehouse and housing. So let's look at if the other building's there. There's a building over here somewhere. Yeah, right next to it. Look at that. Okay. So here we can look at see how there's actually a full-fledged antenna tower, and at the top of that, right up there, right above the little zoom mark,
That you can barely
that
see.
we can't see because they clipped it off. Damn it!
You can barely see it there.
It is a receive antenna about this big. So the other side is a point-to-multipoint, and this is a single-point receive.
What's the separation?
It thinks it's right at 1 mile, 1.2 miles, something like that. And so you can see the base of the tower right here. We've got about 1,000 pounds of concrete. It's connected here. It's supposed to be connected up here too, but it's not. So from here, the antenna is pointed diagonally.
Talk over in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's pointed like over to here, and let's see if I can get a Google Maps. See if we
What
can
the
get this.
heck are you doing on Craigslist with all this stuff? That's weird.
Why? Because I'm trying to rent them out.
Oh,
So how do we
How do you what?
get to Middletown?
Just type in there up at the search where it says whatever.
Well, I'm almost there. Whatever. Okay, so hey, there's Rabbit Lazy USA. So from
Imagine
here, and we'll be going over to
600.
there's 601 North Verity, right there. Okay, so going from one to the other, okay, there's the back of the building.
Before you put the antenna up.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know how to.
Here.
You can run it. So we are direct line of sight. It's about 0.87 miles, something like that.
And the airport doesn't care, huh?
Oh, they don't know. The airport doesn't know. Smith Park doesn't know. Nobody knows. It's all kind of hidden. So it's no big deal. So I think it's 4,800 feet.
That's what.
4,000 feet. 4,000.
600.
Whatever. 4,600 feet.
Yeah.
Whatever. So how many miles is that?
1.4
5,280.
kilometers.
Okay, so the big problem is that over there, on the top left, that's our main building, but there's no good internet there at all. There's no high-speed internet for cable. There's no fiber internet. We are trapped in by the river, the airport, Smith Park, the little pond, whatever it is, the water treatment plant, and a railroad. So with the limited number of people, companies that are back here on Hook Road, the internet providers don't want to spend $50,000 to bring me internet, hardline or fiber. And they say fiber is more flexible, but they don't want to dig. Don't want to get all these permits or whatever to dig around the railroad, and they can't go through the airport or the park and the water treatment. So they basically told me to go to hell. So we do have one person in the area that has like 4 phone lines all tied together and creates a T1 or a T2 or whatever the hell it is. They've got decent speed internet, but it's costing them a lot.
Okay, so a T1
Is not
is
good.
Crap.
and it takes 24 phone lines to equal
Okay.
a T1.
It is horrible. They are not getting great internet, and it is putting in a bunch of phone lines. So they don't have hardline cable. They don't have fiber. And
But you said it's
spinning around.
multi-point. You need to be selling
Okay.
them access.
We're getting there. Okay. So what we used to have was download of like at very best it was like 2, 1.8 or 2, and the upload speed was 0.4. That was pretty damn bad. Okay, so over here on North Verity Parkway, we have easy access to internet. They've got it all over the place. They're like, oh yeah, $60 a month, and we'll give you internet and a phone. So I decided I'm going to get internet over there, and so we've got this, and it's beaming straight across. And right now, I don't think that we're really well tuned. So there's some. Okay, so we're not tuned. So we're still working on that. Okay, Dave is still working on that. Steve. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Steve.
all
Steve
good.
Jones.
Dave's not here, man.
I have been working with Dave Herbert, Dave Hebert, Dave Hobart, and a whole bunch of Daves today. So I don't know what's going to do. Steve's been working on it. And so me and Steve are going to continue work on this. I do have my network rack and my server moved, and a whole bunch of more stuff is moved inside my building. So we're kind of disabling the previous server rack location. Right now, we're getting 30 download and about 20 upload. So for a 25 by 25 download, 25 upload, they were wanting to charge me several $1,000s just to get things built and they were wanting to charge me $500 a month. This system, including power over Ethernet switches, the point-to-multipoint, the antennas, the towers, the receiving locations, the new access points, all the industrial-grade cable, everything cost me about $2,400. And so my time is free. Dave isn't free. Steve's not free. But I've been giving him some extra money on the side to help him help me. That's it. So
And the airport doesn't care.
and the airport doesn't know.
That's
They don't even
why
know.
my Ubiquity Network investment's up 130%. Because they're making some good products.
They do make some really good products.
I bought some of their equipment a few years ago, and then okay, we'll buy the stock since we spent that much time looking into what to buy.
It is some really good product. The Wi-Fi performance inside my building is now amazing. We used to have internal collisions and a bunch of other stuff going on inside my network, and really, I feel like my network
was
done really
so slow.
Talk about the internet or the inside network?
You're both.
Okay.
It was
Both of them are
painful.
now significantly better.
It was painful.
We've gone to everything that we can is now gigabit. We're getting rid of everything else. I used to have 3 access points inside my building. Now I have one. One good access point.
Really?
When his
Yeah. I'm considering to put up a second one in the back, over in the tech room and the shipping room, but we just don't need it. We've got wired locations, so we can get gigabit speeds. I transferred 1.4 gigabytes of data in like 40 seconds today, so I was like, yes, I love this. On the wired network. So we'll be finishing up some of the other wired jacks and stuff throughout the building, but I'm so happy. I'm giddy. The reason that both of these locations are on Craigslist is because they're ready to be rented.
you want them. You want them to be rented. You want to
Yes,
make money.
I need I want the money. I need the money. So we've got Go Fish is out. They've been out for almost 30 days now, and the other location, the 2,500 square foot building. If you click over to that one, the second tab, small warehouse. We have somebody that wants to move in here.
That's cool.
And I'm always looking for an interesting business to hey, what do you want? And this is a father-son team that are going to be doing pitching lessons and hitting lessons. So they're going to be putting in some batting cages and stuff inside to do very catered training. And you can see all the trees that are right there. Go back over to the trees.
I don't want to.
You want to get to the trees right there. You see all those trees right there that are between the D and not those trees. Right there in the middle of the picture.
By the yellow.
These
Or by the yellow where the arrow is
These
pointing.
trees?
All those trees. They're all
Some
gone
of the
now.
Trees.
Okay? Not even on my property, and I have destroyed them all. I paid to have them all cut out. So that creates a lot of green space for if somebody wants to go outside and go just toss a ball. So this company says they're very, very, very interested in renting the building, and we're going to rent it to them. And as a consolation prize, they get free Wi-Fi. Free high-speed Wi-Fi.
Was at his place, 6 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Anyway, it 100 meg download that would normally take a few seconds.
Kept crashing, never came through.
Almost 5 hours on his network.
Oh gosh,
And it
it's
was
just agonizing.
And it was that slow. It was going.
Steve was complaining about some of it too. He's like, "Oh, we gotta do a firmware download." Oh my God, this is killing me.
It was
crashed. It's not
painful.
successful. Oh yeah, it's horrible.
It was painful.
But once we got all
This-
the firmware
this-
downloads and stuff off of the normal system, we
This-
got those
this
into the
network that
Ubiquity
doesn't work
components.
very
Got that
well
network.
is this network that doesn't work very well is better than what you had.
So we built a structure being a point to multi-point because John Ridge, the building slightly to the left, slightly to the center left, they need internet because they're at stupid slow speed, not dynamic dice, bottom left of Rabbit Laser, right there.
These guys.
They need internet
The
because
storage guys?
he's dying of the pains that I had. The little square building to the upper right of Dynamic Dies,
Yeah. this
they
guy.
have no internet and they need it. And so when I put in the antenna, the point to multipoint, I knew that I had 45 degrees of span. So I put the left edge of the 45 to John, put me in the center, and I got, of course I want to be in the middle of it, right? And I'm thinking we could probably get 2 or 3 more people, and they've already volunteered to help pay $50 a month towards our project here. And that will give them 10 times the speed availability. So I've been just absolutely loving it because I have to do TeamViewer. If you guys are familiar with TeamViewer, it's where I'm taking over somebody else's computer and I'm receiving their screen in live time. It is so much better lately. I'm not having all these screen lags and delays and
I can't imagine doing that on dial-up.
oh my god, it was killing me. So it was just killing. Now I'm like, this is so
it
much
was
nicer.
slower
I'm
than
giddy.
dial-up. Dial-up was fast compared to that.
Oh, I was just so giddy about it. So, yeah, this building, this is the 601 West Ferry building, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Blow it up?
I need to clean it out and rent it out. And, yeah, lots of work to do though. But I'm just giddy about how the performance of the network. Yeah, it just seems like those infrastructure things, if you can't get those working, all the other fun projects they're not fun anymore because my saw doesn't work. Well, I'm not going to cut any boards. My soldering iron doesn't work. I'm not going to do any robots. My internet doesn't work. Life comes to a standstill.
See, that's what Patty says. I don't think I really need
Oh,
the internet.
man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Patty
Oh.
she watches way too much Netflix to not have the internet, and I don't
Yeah.
really care.
I like Netflix.
I'd be working on something at the shop, with this horrible internet, 6 months ago, and it's running slow, and I'm like, everybody get off the internet. I'm yelling at my kids. I'm like, are you watching Netflix? No, Dad, I'm reading a book. I swear to God, I'm reading a book. And they were just scared, and I'm like, what the hell? Who's doing something? You guys are downloading music, aren't you? Carol's complaining about the emails aren't coming through fast enough, and now with the
It's almost
faster
modern times.
everybody you can watch videos, they can download their music, stream music, everybody can do it, and it doesn't really kill the whole system. I'm so much happier. Not to diminish if your granddaughter is riding on the robot, that's cool too.
She was having a ball.
So I was in such a good mood. I'm like, okay, I'm taking everybody else out to dinner, and I bought my son a new robot. I bought him the Nerf orange robot, shoots little round Nerf balls.
Nerf pellet things.
Yeah.
It's a story.
We bought that, took it home. It was broke, and I'm like, calm down. We're going back to Walmart. And I was like, Aiden, complain all you want. It doesn't work. It's broke. That's it.
What caliber are those? Can you put in paintball?
Oh, half. Yes, they're darn close. But the balls, no, that's great, fantastic price. We paid $74 including taxes. For it. If that's what that price really is, I'm going to go back and get a discount. I'm going to get $25 off when I get
That's probably the online price.
it. Ooh.
That is. Oh, it says in stock at Middletown. Go and get some.
Oh man, I paid $69 plus taxes. We paid
Well,
20.
That's 69 up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on sale now.
Oh damn it. Free pickup today in stock.
Yeah, it's a fun little toy. It holds like maybe 12 or 15 little sponge-like balls. It's kind of neat.
It'd be more fun with paintball.
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
There'd be some birds in trouble in my neighborhood.
This-
Aiden wants something bigger, badder, more awesome. So yeah.
And my paintball gun is electronic trigger, so that wouldn't be too hard.
Really?
Yes, it is. Not that I'm saying you didn't know that, but yes, my paintball gun is electronic trigger.
So here's my paintball story.
Oh,
I used
this-
to work at a machine shop in Harrison, Ohio,
that's the one I want.
when paintball first became a thing. A fellow came out that wanted to open up a paintball range,
That's the one I want.
and women couldn't pull back the cocking lever on these
It's cool.
007 Splatmaster paintball guns. So he came
Yeah.
into our shop and he needed levers made, and he had like 480 pistols, and I made him 600 stainless steel 1.5 inch long levers with knurling and everything, and he gave me